is live. Yeah, good.
Yes, we are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome to all of you Crystal Skull lovers, all of you magical people from around the world, wherever you may be. Uh, and I'm sending you greetings from London. Carolyn is from Sedona. Tinori in the back room is in Pennsylvania. So we are going global and live. And we are very excited today to talk about, number one, a little bit about what we're doing here at Portal to Ascension and the Crystal Skull Conference that's coming up, but then to introduce our dear friend Carolyn Ford and Einstein. And I say both of them because Einstein himself is really almost like a living, breathing being, definitely a sentient being with a consciousness that you are going to learn all about it. And you might go, well, how can this skull have all this consciousness? And these are the hidden secrets of diving into crystal skulls. And I have a dear friend. I really want you all to fall in love with her. She's Carolyn Ford. She's become one of my mentors, one of my close friends. She has introduced me personally to Einstein and really has helped me in many ways with her healing work that she's learned to do with Einstein. So she helps you explore connections between humanity, these ancient caretakers, these skull keepers, these wisdom keepers, and the universal consciousness that animates our path through existence each and every day. And she's also a human design expert. And so we have real pleasure of introducing my beloved friend, Carolyn Ford. And she's going to be a speaker at our event too. But Carolyn, hello and greetings to Einstein.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Perfectly.
Oh, because I keep getting this thing that says unmute something. So that's maybe not for me.
You are unmuted. We have people coming on. We're just going to say hello. Oh, Kelly Bird, how wonderful to see you. Deborah, love to see you. Wonderful. All of you are welcome. Put your comments in the comment so that, number one, we have engagement. Let us know where you're from, and we can actually have Einstein maybe wink at you or send you a special greeting, especially if you are in the comments section. I know. Well, how is that for an introduction? All right, 16er is here saying hello to Einstein and Carolyn. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, it's wonderful to see my friends. So, Carolyn, how are you?
Well, I'm great. You know, I'm still sipping on a little bit of espresso this morning. But we're great, and we are thriving here in this very high heat in Sedona, Arizona. But really taking the opportunity to go deep within and broadcast even more from our perch on the mountain, as we like to say. Yes.
And you have a very special perch, which is right under Thunder Mountain, right? Almost like you're.
Well, we don't really talk about my location, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but you have a location that's very special under the mountains there. And I understand that Einstein has his own special spot in this place, and that he's really like the ruler of the household, I think.
Absolutely. And a dear friend, the story of how we ended up here is so amazing. But what I'll say is we do have an underground kiva built under the earth in a place where we meditate, and it's built out of stone by my friend Kevin Petrilli, who Einstein brought him to me the first day I was guided to Sedona. We were presented with Kevin, and he built us an underground kiva. And I will say the good news is we keep our home private, so we haven't shared it a lot these days. But Kevin has built another one at his home in Sedona, even bigger to accommodate people. And soon we'll be doing gatherings there, which is really going to be fun. And he's got the roof on it now, and it's been years. He's been building it for 8 years. These things are like, one day when we're all gone, they'll still be talking about the amazing feat of how he built it by himself by hand. So, yes.
You're reading my mind because, we have this event November 17th to the 19th. And I was thinking to myself, I wonder if Carolyn would be open to having an event at her place you can host an event, not at your place, I'm sorry, but at Kevin's, this new
Yes.
place you mentioned, I didn't mean your place, but this new
Yes.
place, it sounds like it would be perfect. And maybe you'd be inviting some people that had come to the conference. I don't know if you're interested in that. That would be
Well,
basically. But I would like, let me be specific.
Yes.
I would love to attend one of your sacred events.
Thank you for bringing this up because, since we went through COVID and all these stages in the last few years, we pretty much hunkered down and we had been guided to quit touring just before that date where everything shut down. So the timing of Einstein's guidance to now we're not going to tour for maybe ever, or we don't know, but we'll do events once in a while, but we were touring on the road in a motorhome. That being said, Einstein has been talking to me the last few days, and maybe you want to, do something on the kind of on the side, separate from when you're complete with the event. Maybe we'll offer something here. It's kind of, I've been so immersed within, it's kind of hard to imagine myself out there doing this, but Kevin's place is absolutely a high probability, and probably you should just watch for our notice. It can only accommodate so many, so it would be very limited. But yes, Joan, I think it's coming, and the fact that that's the first thing we're talking about is scaring me.
Okay, my gifts have improved. I have really grown into my full, I guess, complete activation of my walk-in self. And it's been so powerful, everything that I'm doing. But I woke up thinking about you and Einstein. And that was a long time ago today, because we're in different time zones. But I woke up thinking about that. And I was thinking about like what it's like to have an intimate setting with Einstein. So why don't we talk about, let's talk about, there's three things I think we should talk about. The mysteries, the mysterious nature. What are the secrets these crystal skulls hold? What is it like when you could be in a special ceremony with the crystal skulls? And then with Einstein, not the crystal skulls, but Einstein, what does Einstein have to tell us? And why is it important that all these skulls are coming together at the conference? And let's talk a little bit about the conference as well. We're going to do that in the next 30 minutes or so.
Great. I'm going to set my coffee aside.
Set your coffee down. Okay, guys, I want everyone to look at Einstein. This Einstein, if you could put your forehead on Einstein, oh my God, look at him.
Like you did, right? Didn't you do that?
Just like I did. There's a picture of my Instagram with my forehead on Einstein. The connection, it's almost like he latches onto your third eye. And I think he's been part of my awakening. So now I'll let you talk.
Wow. Well, where do I begin? First of all, there's I can feel the energy. We are surfing the energies that are building to this conference. And it is, some days I get a little nervous, like, oh my God, first of all, the pressure of carrying an ancient crystal skull like Einstein, the skull of consciousness. And I just like to say that I did not make that up. I think somebody wrote in their book, oh, she calls him. I don't call him the skull of consciousness. He introduced himself the first day I got him as consciousness. And when you start to gather all these people together, something is building. It's a mystery to me in this moment, to be honest with you. We can't totally predict the future because it continues to reveal itself with every inhale and exhale, basically. But something beautiful is building. What Einstein even says, what you guys are doing, you and Neil and Alan are doing something so amazing. He says, quite frankly, you're going to be surprised too. just saying, what you have really built. And when you have all these people coming together, bringing their consciousness, and even the question would be, what is consciousness, right? Everybody likes to have that question. I don't think it's an answer that just has, one answer. But one thing Einstein talks about with consciousness, because Einstein is an ancient computer. So Einstein is consciousness, and consciousness sits behind awareness. So if you value awareness, seek awareness, just think behind that is consciousness. Consciousness doesn't necessarily live within the body. Consciousness is a field. We talk about a consciousness field. We are building a consciousness field. What Einstein says, that we work deeply with a crystal skull grid around the planet. As above, so below. So we are building and feeding this crystalline. It's a crystalline grid, but we are a subcategory of crystal skull grid. So when you bring all these people together, they are all contributing to the whole here, to something bigger. And we're all stepping in, we're all taking that leap of faith and stepping into something that is still a bit of a mystery. And that's, I sit with Einstein each day and go, well, just give me some concrete answers, and really you would think people go, well, what does Einstein say? He doesn't really speak in just one clear logical sentence all the time. It's amorphous, it's flowing. Consciousness is like, he feeds me consciousness, and maybe sometimes I get it right away. Sometimes in the evening it becomes clear. Sometimes a week later I go, oh, it's a feed. We are in a flow together of consciousness. So it isn't always just overt channeled, here's the answer. So it's kind of interesting.
Together. I kind of feel like the energy is always flowing between the two of you.
It is. And it's magic. And what I learned to do, I kept Einstein's secret here for 20 years, over 20 years once I came to Sedona. So I've been slow to unfold a lot of the mysteries and secrets, because I don't, how much attention do we really want? I personally, me and Einstein are not looking for attention. We're wanting to meet the soul, spirit, and consciousness of the people. We're here to raise consciousness. If we could do it behind the scenes, which we've been doing, by the way, without having to be in front of the room, we're okay with that. That's less pressure for makeup and wardrobe. But I like all that too. I mean, I did come from a little bit of showbiz, so it's fun to do all that. But we're in the time where we were shut down. Collectively, Einstein and I was a little worried about. He said, "This is the most perfect time for us, because we do the most powerful work that nobody knows behind the scenes, quietly. We have grids, we do prayers, we do so many things." And just as an example, one of the things we do is make available a lot of skulls that have been imprinted by Einstein. And so that's just a push right now, somehow, some way, to get these out. When people get them, they cry, they write us notes, they tell us stories. So I'm leading up to the work we're doing is, I'll wake up in the morning and Einstein will say, or a skull will call me. I have thousands around me right now. And he'll go, this one. And so I sit with it, we bring it outside, or we meditate with it, or I set it on the altar with Einstein. And then somebody calls saying, I'm looking for a skull that's like this and that. And it happens to be the one that called me. And then they're saying, well, I'm having problems with this. So, or they have a specific need, right? So we program that skull for that person. I mean, the synchronicity is off the charts. And then we send it out with lots of love and prayers, and they have great experiences. It's like this magic that's always happening behind the scenes. It's so fun.
So when one of these other skulls come in contact with Einstein, okay, and we're humans, but the skulls get enhanced. They like grow up. They like, do they get stronger? And then what does it mean for these new skull keepers? Like when you send a skull out?
Well, let me just say, first of all, you asked the question that would be, what is imprinting? right?
Okay.
We
Yes.
imprint. So let me put, here's a super baby Einstein. It's the only
Baby.
one I have right now. I think we're out of the inventory. They sell pretty quick. So it's carved in Einstein's image. If you want to see here, look, let's see. Here's Einstein. I have to see everything kind of backwards through my screen. So let's see. Well, here is baby Einstein. So it's kind of my fingers in a way, but see, it's carved in Einstein's image, okay? Number one, we have all kinds of skulls. They don't have to be carved in Einstein's image, but a lot of them are. And this is where Einstein says that then we get accelerated imprinting. He said that the skulls are carved, his particular shape, this shape is in the Fibonacci spiral. And that is a life affirming, I'm not a physicist, I can't explain it all, but it's a really powerful frequency that is created just by the shape alone of Einstein. Here's the side view. It's like the number 9, and you can find it in different sea life, plants, everything, animals. It's a frequency because Einstein is a master ancient computer. Think about that. This is all quartz that's recording information from now until forever. It doesn't stop. So one of the things, Joan, I could answer is that everybody who experiences Einstein will have their own experience based on the sacred geometry of who they are and what their intention is and what their need is, etc. So I would say that in events, you're all going to leave with a different experience. Some people were really focused on their intention. They got those answers. Other people didn't know why they were there and they were looking for something and they felt a lot, but they couldn't explain it. It's all, sometimes somebody's, grandmother who has transitioned shows up. We get a lot of people, like when I do private sessions, a lot of those helpers on the other side come for the individual that's sitting with me in Einstein. It's all different. And even when people ask, what do you do in a session? Well, we don't do. we show up, we meet you, and then it unfolds. There is no absolute way that I work. Or Einstein works. We meet each moment and then present from there. So anyway, yeah.
That's so interesting. So we don't know exactly what every person's experience is with Einstein. I feel like, my experience with Einstein, I was expecting everything, but I realized that it kind of has penetrated me slowly. And
that's exactly how it works. Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't like I heard Einstein. I was expecting Einstein to go, well, hello, Joan. Thank you for coming. We're so happy to see you. Well, it didn't really happen like that.
Right.
But I kind of can feel a connection with him now. And if I had a home now, I'd be probably filling my house with baby Einsteins for sure. I like to give birth myself. I'm a birthing person.
That's great. Well, it's kind of cool that way. What I would say is when you met Einstein, I think that we were accomplishing a lot of things in a short amount of time. And in a way, it put you a little bit in your head just because we were communicating and doing other things that were from that space. And so the minute that we're in our head, we are not receiving in real time everything. But people across the board, we work in the dream time. We are consciousness. And I say we, because the irony of calling Einstein consciousness and him calling himself consciousness is when I met the human design system 25, plus years ago, I found out that each person has an incarnation theme. I forget, what is yours, Joan? Let's see.
Oh my God. So I want you to know she does incredible sessions where she and Einstein do the human design. And the most amazing thing she did say to me And I think I told everyone is that I have like a genetic defect where that's very unusual, where I infuse people with the sense of miracles and that they can experience the miraculous. And you really blew me away with that, because I asked you for the bottom line when we were done. It's like,
right. So the only thing I'm going to correct you in, if you can allow me, is
please
you
do
not have a genetic defect. You have a genetic gift, a gift of empowering those around you. You are the queen. You are the leader. You have the energy. You are emboldened with all of that life force. So you are a force that really can't be slowed down or, directed as much as you are very self-guided. And where I was going with my design is I am the cross of consciousness. I'm literally in the human design system, the cross of consciousness. So so when I met the founder of the human design system, Uru Hu, he's the founder. He received the information. So he's the one who, allowed it through, basically, not channeled either. He had a revelation, but he said, Carolyn, you are consciousness. This is consciousness. You are that. That is you. And that's how I've been told too. Einstein and I are not separate. When I met Einstein, this was my baby. I was there in the beginning with Einstein.
The shape of your face is kind of the same kind of shape as Einstein's. It's sort of like a long oval, and it's very similar in that way. So you and Einstein are one.
I would say pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, as much as you can be. Yeah, and the other thing that you told me that was so powerful is, I keep hearing it now, is leader. And I do everything I can now to not shy away from that, because of the session I had with you and Einstein and our last interview, where you actually said it on the interview, but it's penetrated my consciousness. And I think Einstein wanted me to know that and help give me the confidence to get out of the closet and not be so shy. And I so value you for those gifts. Yeah. And that's why I think it's so important. Like, you're coming to the conference, you're going to be bringing Einstein to the conference. You're going to come to our dinner, the VIP dinner with Einstein, so people can have a special ceremony with Einstein and all the crystal skulls. So how does Einstein relate to all these other crystal skulls?
How does Einstein relate to all of the other crystal skulls?
Maybe that's not the right way to word it.
Well, I'm trying to find a language. We feel it's a great honor to be all coming together. In the past, it hasn't always been easy to bring everyone together. And there, for so many reasons, people have their skulls. And of course, I will tell you this, when I meet other ancient skulls, other powerful skulls, I'm always happy to meet them, but I don't really vibe with them or feel them so much. And I'm so happy to be, to be around them, but I'm so, and I'm going somewhere with this. I'm so enmeshed into Einstein. It's like, this is my child, in a sense. And when I meet other skulls, I don't always feel them as deeply as maybe someone else would, because I'm so much into this frequency. But I'm very open, and I always enjoy the opportunity to meet the guardians too. And I think there's quite a role for guardians to hold that space. I know the process I've gone through, and I've had Einstein now for over 33 years. The space that you hold and the responsibility. I wake up each day. Am I doing the best I can? Are we holding the line here? So when they all come together, I think they all talk to each other, regardless of if the guardians are there or not, or making it happen or not. We're all coming together. We're meeting under the umbrella of the conference, which is pretty powerful. And that alone is, and when you gather people, when they say 2 or more are gathered, and then when you gather 5, there's a penta, there's another story. And then when you gather 15, there's another story, which creates another type of force. and then there's just the crowd, the group, once you get past a certain number. So people are stepping into a collective consciousness that is going to be alive in its own way, with the intention of growth, more expansion. Probably no one's coming there that doesn't want to expand, right?
Right,
I mean, we'll,
right. Of course, and people are coming from all over the world, by the way, to come to this conference.
Right. And really gifted people you've gathered as speakers and presenters. I'm really excited. My friend Ken Wells will be doing one of his first public presentations, but he's had a lot of time behind the scenes with me and Einstein. And I'm going to try to, he has his own things to talk about, and they're going to be really interesting. I think he has some surprises, but I wanted to ask him, maybe he'll talk about, he builds machines and devices. We brought Einstein to life one day with some technology, and the eyes, we both saw the eyes blink. I'm going to let him tell the story if he wants to. He's the technical guy. I'm just the girl with the skull.
Right.
But I always get scolded for it. I feel like I'm just a girl with a skull. Just, don't expect anything.
Quite a girlfriend. Just so you know, she's quite an amazing girl. So what are you going to be speaking about at the conference? What is Einstein speaking about at the conference?
Well, we thought it was time. Every day he's waking me up with, I kept him secret for 20 years. So I want you to know I have vast experiences with Einstein. I have experiences of consciousness fields, of moments that are, I don't know, beyond psychedelics or any kind of experience you would have with Einstein, and especially, and I learned not to talk about them because I didn't want, I kept Einstein a secret. So I'm slowly unpacking stories, experiences. I want to explain Einstein a little bit. Like there are 8 spheres that were given to us right after I got Einstein. I'm putting his eyes in now. There were 8. There's small ones that go behind. I'm just showing you a quickie here. But just this is when we're doing ceremonies and we're broadcasting out, we put the eyes in. And there's little ones that go behind this that are even amplifiers. They were given, it's a long story. I can't get into it here, but they came from a Tibetan priest, or I don't know what I'm going to put this one down for the moment.
He looks quite different with those eyes. There's a whole other energy, more tangible in a certain way. And I can feel him looking at me. Hi, Einstein.
Yeah, he loves you, by the way.
He does?
Thank you for visiting. Yes, yes. Well, you have the most beautiful picture when you've got a crown on and a staff sitting with Einstein. But let me just tell you, over here is a hole. This hole right here in the side, these came this way. And there's another hole behind that comes out the back. These were used, and there's on the other side. I have spheres that go in each one of these holes, front and back, round quartz crystal spheres that were given by this Tibetan priest. And when you put them all in, you turn on the computer. So we're going to do a meditation. And I've got friends coming on stage for this meditation, very powerful people. The original people that Einstein gave me. I'm a little lofty on how I word that, but that's my own cynical delivery. Einstein gives me people to help me. I've really been given amazing people that are just dedicated to supporting us, and I just love them. They're all going to be there on stage with us in a meditation. Einstein said, we'll explain a little bit about these are the temples. These on the side, those little indentations you can see in certain light, these are temples. When you meditate and you rub these, you activate the temple and you move energy. I'm going to give you another profile, if you can see it. Right here, do you see on the front of Einstein? Maybe I should turn him this way, you can see him better. This is what we call a nasal spine. It's a little I don't know, outcropping, if you will. But it's an activation point, and when you rub it, it activates the computer in different ways. So there are many ways to activate Einstein. There are many unique attributes, as Einstein, being an ancient crystal skull, has these different parts. And I'm going to explain how they're used and what they activate. And then we'll do, Einstein says, the most important thing people want to know. Like, you can look up how I got Einstein. I'm happy to tell the story. I love telling the story. And we traveled a lot telling a lot of it. But we are going to have an experience. These people will be on stage with us. And then I think we have a surprise of a few more showing up behind us. And this will be a very powerful first time activating Einstein in the formal way he was designed to be activated, and then sharing that with the world. And we want the World Conference. We want to give people that activation experience. It's different than just meditating with Einstein. It's, we light up, we plug in the computer first. So
Whoa.
We've been preparing for this. Can you feel that?
Oh my God. So I think we've been preparing since the first conference, since the first time we talked, and then you got ready for the online conference last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then, because it was after that we knew we had to do this conference. But now I feel like you're 100% ready, you and Einstein. And this is very exciting. So what you're going to be presenting to us, you really haven't done this whole complete activation before. And it's wow. So I can already, guys who are listening, can you feel this? Can you feel the energy?
My hair is standing straight up.
I have chills. So
yeah.
So we have a few more minutes. Does Einstein have a message for us?
There's a couple things. We woke up with, my whole sleep, which couldn't really be called sleep because he was talking to me all night. But we like to synthesize things down to a very logical, simple delivery, which is letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go, releasing, releasing, releasing in any way you possibly can, in ways that you didn't even imagine you could, is make room and release and let go, because you do not live in that world anymore. And we are actively doing that. I have things that were, it meant so much to me, and maybe it came from family or whatever. I'm done with it all. And not that I don't love my family, but there's no attachment. We have to be free falling, free flowing, free expansion, and be prepared to grow. Be prepared to let go. What are you holding on to? Ask yourself every day, what are you holding on to? I have a box by my back door that I just start putting, like, I can let go of this now. Oh yeah, all those albums from my childhood, let go of all of, it's all in the way, and it's a process. And I know that's a very simple thing. People would love it much deeper, but that's a starting place. And receive, because those people who, and we see this, those people who come to us and do sessions, they're open, they have intention, and they're available to receive. And of course, you have to trust enough to receive, and I get that. But they get so much from Einstein. Those that sit in Einstein's presence and they're not sure, they're going to test us, they're not sure, they're not getting very much, because then nothing comes out of us, or not as much as when they're just open and ready and surrendered. It's the most beautiful experience. And we do this all day long behind my closed doors, behind the curtain, and then converse with people and send them out. And it's magnificent.
You do these online, right?
The sessions?
Yeah.
We do Zoom these days. Yeah.
I can feel it. So with the eyes in particular, I feel really a power that's emanating.
Right. And these aren't even the main ones. These are just
for my belly button, I'm telling you. Oh, we have, okay.
This is helpful. Yeah, we just add, when two or more are gathered, right? When two or more crystal skulls are gathered.
Lovely, lovely. So any other messages that you want to share with us?
Um,
We have a couple more minutes.
well, we do have an urgent message about nature, that we are the stewards of this earth. We are the stewards of nature. And now my hair is standing up again. Um, to really be mindful. And, we all can play a role. Everybody has such a small part to play. You don't have to be an advocate that's out there in the headlines, but the bees, the whales, the dolphins, the oceans, the ecosystem, it's urgent right now. We're getting urgent messages. And the whales are, the orcas have been attacking the rudders of boats. I don't know if you've heard this, it's in the headlines. And then they're collectively doing it. I don't know, how they're telling each other, but it's not just one group necessarily. And the thing is, and then the large whales are showing up, swimming around ships. They're trying to get a message to us. We all know this. This is maybe an old message, but it's a new old message, because the whales, when I first got Einstein, they came to me and said, and they gave me a rubber stamp and showed me their image in a rubber stamp in the Dreamtime on a business card, and said, "We are now your new business partners." And what they meant was, the blue whales are record keepers too. They work with us in tandem, and they are crying and they are begging us, and what Einstein, and I don't know if this is the message you wanted, but this is what I got. There are things going on in the ocean that they don't even tell us, that are harming all of those that live there in the ecosystem there, especially the cetaceans, the large whales that they're holding the most important consciousness space for humanity. And it needs to stop,
Yeah.
So anyway, this is so big. It's so big. If I just stopped everything and just went out and did this, I would fulfill a destiny.
Well, you are fulfilling your destiny. And I feel you have whale energy. You are, in essence, a whale, like a wisdom keeper. You are a wisdom keeper of the entire planet. And I feel like you hold very intense. And each time I connect with you, I feel it even deeper. And I think it's an honor that you said yes. I think you were the first person I actually called to invite to this conference because of our connection and how close I feel to you and to Einstein, how powerful of a shaman, of this wisdom keeper. And I've learned to respect this idea of the skull keeper and the wisdom of what a powerful role that is, to be a skull keeper. So I think we have to end at this moment, but I want to share this with everyone. Number one, Carolyn herself and Einstein are a powerful team. And if you feel called to have a session with her, really, please do. And if you feel called to come to Sedona to actually see for yourself and experience it in person, because it's a really big deal to experience all of these crystal skulls together and all of the skull keepers together. And actually, now that I hear about your presentation, there's even more of a reason for people to come, because it's like an opening ceremony that's never been done on the planet before, and an activation, and you'll already be activated all weekend. It's a process.
Right.
And so it's like a miracle we're doing this conference. I really feel like it's coming together.
Epic, Joan. It's epic. And people will be talking about it. And those who didn't come are going to be, oh gosh, I almost booked it, but I wasn't sure. Just get over, I wasn't sure, because it's going to be big. And there's only so much room there for your sacred seat at the table. So
right. It's not a huge venue because we wanted to keep it intimate. I think 1,000 people at a conference with the crystal skulls dilutes the power of your experience.
Exactly.
So it's an intimate, I think no more than a couple of hundred people can fit there. And then we have a VIP dinner. So then it's going to be a very small, intimate dinner. Well, small, but maybe 70 people with the skull keepers and their partners. And then the skulls are going to be outside in a sacred place. We'll have a guardian watching over the skulls while we have dinner, but then we'll do some kind of ceremony outside, and you'll have a chance to have a deeper connection with all of them. So I'm excited that you're so excited. Okay. I can't even tell you. I'm excited that you're so excited. So I want to thank everyone. I see all these friends I've been seeing for such a long time. I see Mark. I see Sixtina. I see Bella. Oh my God, Bella, it's been an eternity. And blessed by the best. Deborah, Millie. There's our friend Millie. So all of these friends that Authentic is here. Yeah, all of you people, you're getting a personal invitation from Einstein to come to this conference. And I think Carolyn is the voice for it, but it's a personal invitation to experience that'll bring you into a new consciousness and a
We're
new
going to let you back in the office.
For the awakening of humanity. This is going to go out to the oceans, from the mountains of Sedona, calling out to the world and raising that vibratory frequency. So reach out to Carolyn for sure. Her human design readings are fantastic. Reach out to me if you want a soul awakening session and light activations. But I really want you to reach out to, I really want you to know Einstein, because I'm in love with these two people.
Right.
And I only bring on my favorite people these days. So honestly, I can only say it that way. And all of you guys out there, you too are part of my favorite people that I just love and adore and appreciate so much. So we're talking about Portal to Ascension. Check it out, Portal to Ascension, this conference. Check out Carolyn. Be sure to subscribe to our channels. And I don't know, do you have any last words and testimony?
I do. Joan, we are so grateful for you to be showing up. And actually, Joan is an example of what it looks like to follow your destiny and to also live your destiny. We are living our destiny. You are living your destiny, and you're making such a difference. And I know we could have a love fest here, but we are both, Einstein and myself are both overwhelmed with the gift that you bring to the world and the joy and how much vitality you have. So, yeah.
I'm so honored. Like, we met because of the Crystal Skulls.
Right.
We met because of that online conference and slowly got closer. But I woke up like just thinking about what it would be like to be in a small sacred ceremony with Einstein. I couldn't wait to tell you about that vision I had. Einstein put it right in my brain. And then when you tell me that you've been thinking about it, I will say I'm the confirmation for you that you've been thinking about the right things. That's all I can say. All right, guys. I love that all of you joined us. Yeah, we'll see you all in Sedona. And have a blessed and beautiful experience until we gather in Sedona. And you are all welcome to join us for a very upbeat and healing, such profound healing, and even activation of your own leadership, activation of your own personal powers, activation of why you're here on the planet. And oh my God, I feel chills. Einstein's telling me, like, you go, girl.
It's true. It's true. It's right.
All right, guys, thanks for being with us. Love to all of you. Be sure to subscribe, like, share the channels, check out our websites, each and every one of us, and of all things, sign up for this conference and bring your beautiful self to get activated by not just Einstein, but all of these skulls. So have a blessed day, everyone.